Previously on The Ultimate Fighter. All 8 preliminary bouts have been fought. Cole made short work of Allen.
Cole.
Joe looked unstoppable in his defeat of Brian.
Lozon looked amazing in this fight.
Gray demolished Wayne.
I won. I'm done. Let's move on.
Marlon may have won 300 street fights, but Matt destroyed him inside the octagon.
Now I know that there's 300 guys out there on the streets that I can beat up.
Coming up next, it's the quarterfinals, but BJ and Jens can't agree on the matchups.
It's about beating Jens.
I just can't be next to him for very long anymore.
Tell me you're gonna be stupid enough to stand up.
You're getting knocked out on the 23rd.
Who will take the next step towards becoming the Ultimate Fighter?
So to decide the quarterfinals, what we're gonna do is bring all the fighters in. I'm gonna grab BJ and Jens and make them sit in a room together and act civil with each other and try to pick the best quarterfinal matchups we can make. Stylistically,
What's the best fight?
what do you think are the best fights here, the best matchups?
So forget about the teams then, huh?
I gotta get 5. I gotta even this thing out. That's what I'm thinking.
Forget that we're down 5-3.
We needed a team so that these guys could train together. The reality is there are no teams.
You tell me he and I gotta start going to practice together?
No, what
You want us to start shadow boxing in the cage?
No, listen to me. What happens is
Get me to the
we
finale.
need to pick the
Get to the finale already so we can shut this
four
guy
guys that we think could make it to the finals.
I was thinking it's gonna be Team Penn in one side and Team Pulver in one side. I just thought that was the way it was gonna be.
I think what you have to do is you have to take the 4 best guys that you think are the best guys here against the guys that you don't think. Then you end up with the 4
Best guys in the
toughest
semifinal.
guys in the semifinal.
I mean, he doesn't have
the 4
any.
that I think are talented enough to make it to the finals is Nate Diaz, Lozon, Wyman,
And Maynard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't agree with who they figured top 4 fighters were.
You're keeping Manny on the other wrong side. Manny's one of the top 4.
Here's what I picked.
Just read off BJ's list. It's the same.
It's the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
The list I wrote down, what I wanted to the T, Dana wrote the same thing out while that was on the paper, but not looking at it.
Dana's a smart man, you know? He sees something, he knows it's right.
I'm not worried about being the idiot.
Oh, yeah. I did. We and BJ have the same exact.
That's what I was thinking.
Thanks.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, what do you think? It's a conspiracy? I just sat here and picked the
I'm not
guys to
saying
look at.
conspiracy. I ain't saying it's conspiracy.
So what's that mean?
Why
Of course it is.
Why even give me an opinion? That's my point.
Jens believes that I'm on BJ's side and that BJ and I are like conspiring to make the same picks for the fights. He's gone.
I'm rolling this guy with wins. I'm not gonna stop now, but now you want me to stop.
It's never taken this long to pick fights.
Did you not see the team picking?
No.
What'd you think was gonna happen?
And it starts getting to the point where, you know, I'm afraid these two are gonna start fighting.
Yeah, we'll settle it on the 23rd.
You want to do something, but you know if you hit them, you're going to get in trouble.
You're getting knocked out on the 23rd.
Oh my God. Tell me you're gonna be stupid enough to stand up.
I just can't be next to him for very long anymore.
Only what you know, go
Yep.
get that arm bar and hope there's 5 more
Yep,
seconds.
yep, yep,
Because all I remember
yep.
is there won't be no kicking nuts.
Somebody got
Go,
the three-punch combos.
So after all the chaos and arguing, I made my picks on who's going to fight in the quarterfinals, and we went out and let the fighters know. All right, guys, let's take a look at where we are in the standings.
These are the Burger King Ultimate Fighter standings. Have it your way.
Gray Maynard and Matt Wyman joined Joe Lazon from Team Penn in the quarterfinals. Team Pulver has 5 quarterfinalists: Cole Miller, Manny Gamburian, Nate Diaz, Brandon Melendez, and Corey Hill. Got together with your coaches, and we put together the fights that we felt would be the most entertaining and the toughest matchups right now. For the first fight, Lozon versus Cole. The second fight, it's going to be Gray versus Brandon. The third fight, going to be Diaz versus Corey. Last no-brainer, Wyman versus Manny. Congratulations, you guys have made it.
Good luck, man, good luck. Besides my matchup, rest is horrible. We're gonna lose out one of the top guys, you know? That's up, bro.
I had an extreme problem with Diaz and Hill. Diaz asked for Lazon. I wanted to give him that.
I knew that was gonna happen. I knew they were gonna match at me and Corey. I bet none of them wanted to fight me. And I bet none of them wanted to fight Corey either. So that's how I knew I was gonna fight Corey the whole time.
I love these matchups.
Yeah.
All of them.
I'm excited. Yeah, this is cool, dude.
It's kind of like we got the hammer.
All 4 matchups were very, very good for us. We're definitely going to win all 3 of our fights.
Things are gonna get weird in the house.
Cheers, guys.
It was the second day after my fight with Wyman, you know, kind of all the regrets and both were gone. I was looking to have fun the rest of the time here, you know, still trained, but, you know, at least have a good time. And conversation turned a little ugly.
Marlon, say something to Noah, please.
Marlon had told Noah that he wanted to fight him in the finale and that he had already asked for it. And I guess that Noah took that to be insulting.
I'd love to fight Marlon. Ooh, Marlon was drinking, you know. He was talking, I was talking.
Marlon Sims is drunk.
I think the only 2 people here that can say that they wouldn't quit or wouldn't tap are me and you, because we're the only ones that actually didn't.
Marlon said, hey, you know, I'm not a big sissy. Me and Weems didn't tap. Basically insulting Monster Lobster and Noah.
I'm not gonna tap. Why?
No, he was defending it.
Kind of chump, that's why.
You're not a chump if you tap. You never tapped before?
I think you are a chump because you're not gonna die.
I was in bad position. I tapped before my arm got destroyed. And when I'm freaking pounding you with it, you will realize that.
Ooh. I didn't tap. I never will tap. I refuse to, and if you don't believe me, you know, suck it.
50 seconds, Marlon. That's what you lasted, was 50 seconds. Every
Nobody
story
here
you
thinks
said,
you have any talent.
fight. That's fine. Every story you said is complete bull.
You're a jackass.
That's fine, buddy.
Somebody
That's
tapped.
great.
Fight. Fight.
Awesome. I'm having an awesome time. I'm having an awesome time.
I love it. This is great. Look at this. This is a 10-point one system.
Someone's getting scared. Are you ready? I'll wait till I get.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
This is awesome.
I'm not getting kicked out of this house.
No, don't worry. You ain't getting kicked out. All right, go. All right, guys. Are you ready?
Man up.
Are you ready? Tell me, come on. Let's go. Are you ready?
I'm gonna wait.
All right, let's go. Fight. Get it on.
I'm gonna wait to get punched and then I'll fight.
Fight him.
Hit him in the belly.
Hit him.
Fight like a man. Come on.
Monster, you're instigating.
Hit me first.
Oh, that was cheating. That was cheating.
That was a cheap shot.
That was cheating.
Oh. He punched me first. You guys all saw it, right?
I seen it.
There's a real fight right here.
Watch out. Watch out going over backwards.
Come on, pummel, guys. You gotta pummel.
Move the chair, Wayne. Move the chair.
Oh.
Yeah, we gonna respect taps or what, dude?
You guys all punch me first. You jackass. Oh.
This is brutal.
Hey, that bear moved the chair.
Get the chair out of the way. Where'd you come from?
Oh.
Oh. Get the armbar. You get the armbar.
Yeah, we're gonna
Did I see a tap? No, no taps.
You better break this with this.
No. There's no taps
Break
yet.
this up.
No, man. You guys are fighting.
It's fucking cheap shots me. And nobody's doing anything about it.
You're whooping his ass.
Dude, yeah, but I don't want to get kicked out of his house.
I back off. I stop. I was beating him up. I was like, okay, this is good.
He punched you first.
Oh, whooped his ass.
Man, Noah high kicks him in the face.
See this?
All right, come on, guys.
You're in the right.
Relax it.
Pretty much just defending myself off the bat, you know. He was the drunk one. I was the sober one. He came at me and dumped me.
You're the one that put the chair, Marlon.
Hey,
You came after it. Did he or did he not say hit me?
Besides, if you stick your chin up in the air and tell me to hit you, and I'm gonna do it.
See you in the finals.
seriously.
You guys both down a bit already. We're both down a bit already.
You want to see in the finals?
Oh, you going for a handshake? You team shot him twice.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go. You missed so much good over now. You guys missed that.
He might be out.
He might be out.
He might be
Give him the off. Concrete.
Guess what happens when somebody takes guard and applies an armbar, and somebody as big as me and as strong as me is standing above you? Yes, you get elevated and slammed.
Don't make us say about the cheap shots now, man.
He got his head slammed on the concrete. That kind of sucked, but he was trying to break Marlon's arm, too, at the same time, you know?
Now, remember, everybody at home, I drank half a bottle of tequila. I'm not a big man, and I don't drink often. I was 3 sheets to the wind.
Yeah, I got a little cut. It's nothing major. Just like a scratch.
That was one of the best street fights I've seen.
We'll finish this in the finals.
Hey, good fight.
This is our house.
Leave it at that. Hey, that's it. No, you guys are good. No.
We're good then?
That's it.
Cool.
That's it.
That's it. We'll finish in the finals.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
That was the most technical street fight I've ever seen in my entire life.
Best fight.
Shut him down.
I think we all saw a good example of what happens when you mix alcohol with a campfire and a lot of crazy white people.
That dude said, all right.
It was the funniest fight ever. Funniest fight ever, hands down.
And then after it's all broken up, he goes.
This is me during the fight.
We're over here running around like Lord of the Flies, man. We're freaking out, having a good old time.
I can't believe he tried to do a high kick to the head. It was not. Who does that? Was it Van Damme?
How was he in the
guillotine
on top? He was on top when he was in the guillotine.
Yeah, no, he shot in and Noah jumped or they picked him up and slammed him.
Emerson, Nate, sorry guys. We just got fight of the season. Sorry guys. I dominated. I absolutely dominated. I really got to showcase a lot of the talents that I have for you.
That was awesome.
Dude, even if you get kicked out, which you won't, like no, totally, like Dude, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Hopefully they don't boot us out of here for this. You know, it's over. It's been squashed.
That's how I escaped my armor. But is your head okay?
Yeah.
I saw you.
Yeah.
We may be out of here, though. Why? You punched me first. Nah, I made sure about it.
That would be wonderful.
Hey, chowder.
Yeah, baby. He's cooking his chowder. Yeah.
Oh, I knew it was bad.
Get everybody, gather around.
Everybody.
I just came from the gym where I just watched the tape of what happened here last night, and I'm disgusted. For the last 6 years, I've been busting my ass to prove that this isn't what this sport is all about, and this isn't what we're like. And not only did these two fight last night, you egged it on. I've seen that happen before in high school. It seriously made me sick. And you know what? Every one of you guys that were back there last night are gonna be embarrassed as I am right now. What happened last night is exactly what most of the people in the real world think of us. You're a bunch of goons. Guess what? You guys are athletes, or you want to be anyway. That's what you told us when you came here. You wanted to be professional athletes. You guys acted like a bunch of little kids last night, like high school, laughing and giggling. This kid was bleeding, had his head split in the back, you know. He gets sucker punched. Bull, man. You're gone. You're gone. And Lobster, you're gone. You three are gone. This is not what the UFC is all about. It's not what mixed martial arts is all about. Pack your boys. I'll see you later. In my opinion, Lobster was right in there, egging the whole thing on, telling them they wouldn't get kicked off if they fight. You have to use better judgment than that.
What are we gonna do with this lobster, man?
I have no idea.
I'm not a bad person. And I'm not gonna say I'm not to blame at all, you know? Am I gonna say that I'm the only one to blame? No, I'm not gonna say that either, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to stay here, but it's not whether I agree with Dana or not. I agree with what he's saying, but it really doesn't matter whether I agree with what he's saying or not. I do agree with what he's saying, but broke the rules. Pissed off the boss man. Gotta go home.
So who wants a bunch of supplements that I don't need? I don't condone street fighting. I think sometimes it's necessary if nobody really gets hurt, but I've been asked to leave and I'm out of here.
Break those up for me, guys. Look it up. Enjoy.
Hey, man.
You know, you put your dog in the kitchen, you know, with no toys, and you don't want him to chew on the walls.
That's what happens when you get stupid, you know? Hopefully I have a future. I may not, though, you know?
You want that one? I got this one.
I actually feel relieved. I'm an older, more mature man than anybody in this house, and this was kind of hellish for me to be here.
Take care, man.
Get all of me.
Holler at you, man. At the time, it didn't seem wrong. And when you sit back and look at it, you know it was.
We didn't mean for it to come off like that. You know, if we would have really sat back and thought about it, you know? If we were really,
Well,
really
plenty of time to sit back and think about it now. Sorry. Sorry.
I think it kind of sucks that all of them had to leave, but it doesn't really bother me. You know, I got to focus on me and focus what I need to work on for my fight with Joe. Anytime I've seen Joe fight, all of his losses are against the guys that put it on him first. They come out and get after it. So I'm looking to go out there, get after it, just put it on him before he puts it on me. For this fight specifically with Joe, I've been working a lot, getting a lot of the boxing down, working a lot on the possibilities that Joe might bring to the table and countering those. So just spending a lot of time with the hands.
Cole also has to understand this isn't going to be a pretty match. You're not going to beat Joe Lazone in a pretty match. And I mean by pretty, lay down there, you flop, you hold it, good armbar, it's all laid out like some kind of highlight reel. Nah, man, this shit's going to be nasty.
It's going to be a fight from beginning to end. It's going to be just about who gets off first.
Joe's strengths are very tough mentally. He's strong physically. He's not a weak person. From day one, he just gave it all to us, and he's willing to get better and willing to learn and willing to listen.
He pushes up here. Open season on this side.
I don't think I'm the best fighter. I might be the smartest fighter, though. I try to notice little different things about people, give you any type of advantage you can.
I realized after this little bit of time spending with Joe, he's got one of the best ground and pound in the business, you know, with his ferocious elbows and ferocious punches from any angle.
I definitely think that it's a bad matchup for Cole. I'm going to put him on the fence, take the fight out of him.
I usually grab here, and I'll put him against the fence.
He's one of the best guys to corner, you know, because he'll tell you, I'll have him back here in 10 seconds, you know, and he's got him right there. And then it really helps so much when he brings him there, because then I can start shutting down the guy's game.
Yes, sir.
I just feel really, really good right now. I feel like I'm in really good shape. I've had some of my best fights when I feel the way I do now, you know, physically, mentally, everything.
You get him.
I can't wait to fight.
Joe versus Cole is an interesting fight. Cole is very good on the ground, very, very good on the ground, but so is Lauzon, but I'd have to give the advantage to Cole.
155?
Standing up, advantage Lauzon.
155 and a half.
I think this fight is definitely going to go to the ground, where they're both really good, but I think Cole is a little better at submissions than Joe is, but Joe is just a f***ing animal.
Cole and I are pretty friendly to begin with, and at the stare down, you know, we're both, you know, kind of getting each other's face a little bit, just kind of joking more than anything. And he started like flaring his nostrils. I can't flare my nostrils, but I can wiggle my ears. So I started wiggling my ears. We're both gonna go in there and try to beat each other up, but I mean, before it's friendly, it's gonna be friendly after, you know, regardless of how we come out.
Fight's gonna be real fast paced, a lot of striking, a lot of grappling. The guy that can get the aggression out first is pretty much gonna win the fight.
I knew what Garrity was about, I know what Cole's about. And that's why I think it's gonna be the same fight. Cole's strength is my strength, but I'm better at it. I think Cole knows the outcome of the fight. I don't think that there's anything he can do to change it.
He's not gonna be one of those people that finishes me. There's no way he'll ever submit me. There's no way he'll ever knock me out. I'm sure he'll put it to the ground and I'll submit him there, top or bottom.
I think I'm bigger, I'm stronger. I think I'm better on the ground. I definitely have that retard strength thing going for me where I'm stronger than I look.
For sure, I'm the underdog in this fight. And I think that some people will be very surprised at the end.
It's gonna be a quick fight. I'm gonna win. First round, I wanna get in and out. It's gonna be the same as the last fight. I'm gonna circle around, I'm gonna take Cole down into our corner, and I'm gonna pound him up. I wanna be over quick.
I'm the underdog here. I got to get after it. The eyes are going to be on him, not on me. So I got to, you know, bring the judge's attention to myself. I think the chances for me winning the fight are very good. I'll just fire one submission after another. I'll catch him sooner or later. Joe, sucks to be you.
All right, this is the first quarterfinal fight. This fight's gonna be 2 5-minute rounds. If at the end of the second round the judges declare it a draw, we go to sudden victory. The winner of that round wins the fight. Good luck, guys.
Come on, baby.
All right, guys, show us what you got. Bring it on, come on. This fight clock is brought to you by AutoZone. Get into the zone. AutoZone.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Good. Right behind him. Nick. Nick. Good. Take your time. Hit the leg.
Watch your neck, Cole. Watch your neck.
Good.
Watch your neck.
Good. Good.
Put your back on the ground. Watch your neck. Watch your neck, Cole.
Attaboy.
Move, Cole. Put your back on the ground.
Back on the ground, Joe.
Okay, good job. Okay? You ready to start moving? Watch the left elbow, Joe. Joe, get back to full guard, Joe. Full guard. Full guard. Full guard, Joe. Full guard. Leg lock. Leg lock. Back on top. Get on top. Go on top. Push out. Go on top, Joe. Go on top. Joe, go on top. Watch the guillotine. Get back. Okay. Watch out, Joe. Kick his legs. Kick his legs, Joe. Nice. Joe, kick his legs. Nice. Elbows. Yes. Yes. Get on top. Get on top. Get on top, Joe. On top, Joe. Top. Yeah. Okay, be careful now. Watch the triangle, Joe. Watch the triangle. You're ready to pump.
Watch the elbow.
Let's go. Yeah, watch the triangle. Watch the triangle. Watch the triangle.
On the side. Cycle.
Pass. Pull the legs.
Throw the legs, Joe.
Keep them off.
Breathe, Joe. Breathe.
Yeah, Joe. Body with the right hand. Don't let him close his guard. Don't let him close.
Take your time. Take your time.
Bring him over here. Put his hand. Feet on his head. Body, head, Joe. Right hand to the head. Right hand is free.
Breathe, Joe.
Elbows.
Breathe, Joe.
Left elbow. Watch the triangle. He's going to set up the triangle.
Watch the triangle.
Watch your arm. Watch your right arm. Yeah. Watch the arm. Watch the arm. Right there. Elbows. Yes. Watch the triangle. Watch the triangle.
Elbows tight. Get underneath the legs.
Yes. Watch the triangle.
Watch the triangle, Joe. Take
Watch
your
the
time.
triangle. Left elbow.
Take your
Right,
time.
nice.
Hands up. Come on.
Okay. Bring him back here. Watch your right arm. Watch your right arm. Get squared up again. Yeah. Square right here. Watch your right arm. Joe, watch your right arm. Good job.
Good job, Joe.
Throw the legs in. Keep going.
Throw the legs, Joe. Spin up.
Get your shots nice, Joe. Watch the triangle. Watch the triangle.
He stands up. Stand up. Stand up.
Yeah, good job, Joe. Okay, posture now.
Posture up, Joe.
Breathe.
Good job, baby. Take your time.
Breathe. Take a couple breaths. Breathe. Watch your arms. Hold his biceps. Watch the guillotine. Watch the guillotine.
Take your time.
Left elbow. Watch the triangle. Watch the triangle. He's trying to go over. Watch the triangle.
He's all defense, baby.
Get out, Joe. Joe, get out.
Out, Joe.
Get your left arm back in. Watch your arm. Watch your right arm. Watch your right arm. Keep your head low. Keep your head low. Keep your head low. Watch out. Be careful. Watch your arm, Joe. Joe, watch your arm. Watch your arm. Okay. Now your turn. Bring him back here. Left hook.
Good boy.
Posture between the
Good
legs.
boy.
Breathe. Yeah, feel the legs. Pass already, Joe. Pass his guard already.
All he's got is that still.
Stuff, Joe.
Watch it.
Watch the kicks.
Elbows.
Yes. Pass, Joe. Pass. Pound again. Get ready to pound again.
Push. Good,
job.
good.
You're doing great.
Elbows.
Good job,
Lock your
Joe.
face. Lock your face. Come on, baby. You working.
Okay? Yeah, posture. Watch the triangle. Watch the guillotine. He's going guillotine. Okay, good. Head in the face. See your head in his face. Put him on the fence and your head in his face.
Switch your body. Switch.
Watch the triangle.
Underhook.
Okay, stand right there, Joe.
There you go. Arms up. Underhook.
Pound, Joe. Watch the knee more.
Stand up from there. Spin inside. Spin inside.
He wants to quit.
Watch the back of the head now. Watch the back of the head.
Watch the knee bar. Watch the knee bar, Joe. Pound.
Let go of that fence.
Let go of that fence. Go.
inside.
Now's the time. He's done already. He's done, Joe.
Now's the time, Joe.
Joe, put one on his knee. One on the hook. Yeah, again.
Don't sit there, Cole.
Again.
Good.
Pass again, Joe. Bomb it. Throw the legs and bomb again.
Good.
Throw the legs and bob again. Watch the triangle, Joe. Watch the triangle. Where's your chair? How much time? How much time?
Minute left.
50 seconds, Joe. 50 seconds. Watch your arms. It's a triangle. Watch the triangle. He's pushing that arm because he wants a triangle.
Take your time. Joe, put his head
Watch
on
out.
the
Be
fence.
careful. Get ready to...
Yeah, put
Okay,
his head on the
right
fence.
there. I'll
Yeah,
go.
work now, work.
Nice.
Come on, Cole.
Pass. Elbow to the body.
Short time, Cole. Short time.
Watch your right arm, Joe.
Watch your right arm, Joe.
30 seconds. Watch your right arm, Joe. 30 seconds.
30 seconds, Joe.
Square him back up, Joe. Square him back up.
Square. Come on, buddy. Joe.
Square him back up with you. Square him back up, Joe.
Watch it deep. Don't get deep.
Right there, again. Punch and pass.
10 seconds.
Don't hold the fence. Let go of that fence.
Water, Rudy. Beautiful. He's dead. Don't worry, he wanted to quit already. Cole!
Fresh. He's tired.
All right, round 2, guys. Bring it on. Let's go, Joe. Get after it, Joe. Come on.
Get an angle, Cole.
Hands up. Left hand up.
Use your length. Get that
Left hand
jab
up.
out
Let's go.
there. Ready for the shot. Stick your move.
Be first, Joe.
Stick your move, Cole. Jab. Keep your jab out, Cole.
He doesn't want to contact, Joe. He wants to stay out.
Joe, counter the punches, Joe.
Yeah, Joe. Okay, Joe, it's time to go to work. Watch the triangle. Left arm. Pass.
Half guard sweep, Cole. Half guard sweep.
Push down guard. Watch the triangle. Watch the triangle. Go.
Sorry about that.
Go.
Keep it going, Cole. Come on.
Elbow, left elbow, Joe. Left elbow.
Come on, Cole.
Watch the triangle.
Elbows, come on.
Let's go, Joe. Throw the leg, Joe. Left arm on the leg. Grab his ankle with your left arm. Watch the triangle.
There you go.
Get out, Joe. Get in. Get out. Watch the triangle. Pass. Stack him. Watch the triangle.
Keep passing.
Lock him down. Lock that leg down, Joe. Joe, lock that leg down, Joe.
Lock the leg, Joe.
Good job. Put your left knee in deep.
Breathe and stand
Punch him, Joe.
Push.
Joe, let's go.
Come on, Joe.
Right
Get
turn.
busy.
Watch your left arm.
Yes. Right arm between his thighs.
Right elbow to the body. Right elbow to the body, Joe.
Yes.
Right elbow to the body.
Push it away.
Nice. Watch the triangle. Watch the triangle. Get your arm out.
Arm out.
Good. Ping that leg.
Pass over.
Pass.
Side.
Pass. Elbow. Left elbow.
Side control.
Hold him down. Hold him down, Joe. Hold him down. Hold him down.
Hey, that's the back of the head. Watch out now. Yeah.
Stop.
Time out.
That was back of the head, bro.
Take some time. 1 point, striking to the back of the head. 1 point, striking to the back of the head. Take your time.
Come on up, bro. Come on.
Take your time.
Get up.
Get your breath.
Make sure you got it. Come on, baby. Keep it standing. Make sure you got it standing too. Make sure you got it standing too.
I want to, yes.
Yeah, you want to.
I can do whatever.
Carl, jump up here and hand it to him, please.
Not at all. Let's do it.
Right, you fouled him on the ground, so we're going to start standing up. All right, guys? Clean it up a little bit, all right? Bring it on.
Get after it, Joe. Get to work. Let me see those hands go, Joe. Hands up. Throw those hands, Joe. Be first on those hands. Be first on those hands. Be first on those hands. Throw your hands, Joe. Throw your left hook. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, look.
There you go.
Take him down, Joe. Take him down. Yeah. Yes. Perfect. Right elbow, Joe.
Press now, Joe.
Breathe. Yes. Finish.
Back of the head now.
Finish. It's done.
Finish it now.
Just unload. All right,
Back of the head.
go. All right. 20 be right, Joe.
All right, Joe. All right, Joe. Keep going, Joe.
Watch the leg bar.
Joe, keep going. Keep going, Joe.
Watch the knee bar. Watch the knee bar. Joe, watch the knee bar.
Fight out of there, man. You gotta fight out of there.
What? Speed it up, Joe.
Let's
go, Cole.
Stop it already, Joe. Let the ref stop it. Watch the Kimura. Defend the Kimura.
Lock it up.
Defend it.
Grab that arm.
Defend it. Joe, grab the arm, Joe. Good.
Go,
Pull
Joe.
it out. Good job. Yes, hit him.
Keep going, Joe.
Hit him to the ref. Stop it already, Joe.
One in the body, Joe. One in the body.
One in the body.
Step up, fight. There you go. One in the body, one in the head.
Take him down.
Take him down.
Watch the Kimura.
Watch the leg, dude.
Right there, left. Nice. Yeah. Do that.
There you go, Joe.
140 left.
140 left, Cole. You gotta work, Cole. Joe, you gotta finish this one, Joe.
Everything you got.
Finish it, Joe.
Come on, Cole. Finish, Joe. Joe, make the hooks already.
Body, Joe, body. You gotta work, Cole.
Flatten him.
out.
Flatten him. Finish. Mount, Joe. Stay on top.
Body, Joe. Work the body too, Joe.
Come on, man. You gotta fight out of there. I can't let you take that like that.
Faster, Joe. Joe, faster.
Make him stop it, Joe.
There you go, Joe.
Stop. That's it.
Relax. We're gonna get you here. Go.
Sorry about the elbow call.
Good fight, Joe.
This fight recap is brought to you by Amped Mobile.
So the fight comes out, and I didn't expect Cole to drop Lozon, but he hits him, he drops him, he jumps on him and gets his back.
He's out.
And he had to choke deep.
And I was like, oh no, something happened. He got mounted.
Watch your neck, Joe.
It looked like Lozon was done.
Good job.
But he weathered the storm and got back on top.
Lozon starts raining punches down like he does, but Cole is going after submission after submission.
Watch the triangle. Watch the guillotine. He's going guillotine.
It was a busy first round. Then the second round, same as the first. They come out, they're going at it.
And then all of a sudden, bang, elbow to the head. Boom, they stop it.
You can tell when a guy is faking. This kid wasn't faking, he was hurt.
You know, I remember I was seeing spots, a lot of spots. My motor skills were down, like I could hear fine, but it was taking me a while to speak.
The thing is, when you get hit like that, you're trying to figure out your name, you're trying to figure out your speech. Your depth perception is off. You don't know near from far. Everything is just like right in front of you. You don't know whether or not you're standing, you're up or down. And when you can't get your focus, it's more like you're in a daydream. You know how like you can sit there and stare at something long enough and you're off drifting somewhere else? That's what's happening. I asked him, you ready to continue? And Miller, not wanting to feel like a little, sissy, says, yeah. So why would I say something? I'm not a doctor. So Cole said he was ready, let's go.
After Cole recovered, I knew that I wanted to get on him hard and fast because if I lost a point, then I definitely lost the round, and I didn't want to go to overtime. I wanted to try to finish him.
You could tell after Cole got hit with that illegal elbow, he wasn't the same fighter he was before it happened.
I took him down, and then from there, it was basically just him covering up.
Finish it, Joe.
Health-wise, I shouldn't have been fighting, but I didn't come here to win by DQ. I came here to win the whole thing. So got back in there and just did what I could.
Your winner, due to strikes in the second round, Joe Luzon.
Joe, that's just his fighting style. He fights wild, I've never heard him known for, being a dirty fighter. I don't think he's malicious like that.
I like my track. I get you.
And one of the things I like about Lozon is I talked to him after the fight. He didn't want to win that way either. You don't want to win a fight like that. You want to win a fight because you won.
I wasn't trying to elbow him like that. I was trying to. I don't know if I judged it wrong or he turned his head or just I was at a bad angle or what. But I threw the elbow trying to hit him in the side of the head, and I was just, you know, I misjudged it. I wasn't trying to elbow him in the back of the head. It kind of happened.
If you're hurt, but if you're ever f***ing hurt, stop. Stop. It's not worth it. You know what I mean? It's not f***ing worth it, all right? We'll get you looked at and everything else, but don't ever f***ing keep fighting because you're afraid of looking like a puss. You're anything but a puss, all right?
Oh, don't worry about it. Tough fight, all right, bro?
I hate to see a guy lose like that. I hate to see an illegal blow and have a kid lose the way it happened.
You know, hats off to the guy. He won the fight, no matter what the circumstances were. But I just wish that the foul wouldn't have happened, you know, so we could have found out what was going to, you know, how the fight would have went down. You know, maybe later on down the road we can do it again. From here, I just try to progress, be a better fighter, be a better person, move forward in the sport, move forward in life.
On the next episode of The Ultimate Fighter, it's the second quarterfinal. Gray Maynard takes on Brandon Melendez.
How do you want it?
But all is not well between Brandon and Jens.
You don't like the way I'm coaching you? You let me know. Because there's another f***ing team and you can be on it.
It's like, you know what? F*** you, dude.
Gray gets help from heavyweight champion Randy Couture.
Explode. Look to the ceiling.
It was like a kick in the butt. Like, yes. Win this.
Will Brandon's superior striking lead to victory? Or can Gray pound out a win with his dominating wrestling skills? Who will step up their game and get a shot at becoming the next Ultimate Fighter?